Hello everyone, I'm back again, and this video is going to be a little bit different because, I think that I have a suspicion that some people might think that I'm being biased towards the two soundbars that I've reviewed. I'd like to get this out of the way now. I am not doing so. However, I will admit that I have made mistakes in my review of the Q90r. Let's start with the most obvious one. I said that the Q90r is not as good for movies. This is incorrect. Although the Q90r's implementation is not as good with PCM content at lower volumes, at higher volumes it is just as good as the Nakamichi. In terms of actual movies, anything encoded in Dolby Digital or DTS or DTS:X or Dolby Atmos just absolutely sings on the Q90r. In crystal clarity. I'm still not as big of a fan of the bass, but again, that's my personal preference, not necessarily to say that the bass on the Q90r sucks. I just don't like it as much as the Nakamichi. And again, that doesn't mean that, either or is inferior to the other. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm only human, and I make mistakes, and, some people have, commented and said, in movies, I actually feel like I'm there, and yeah, once I actually retested the bar, even though it's not set up right now, I noticed the exact same thing. So, if I had actually played something on Netflix or something else, then probably the result would have been much different, and that's good to know for my future reviews. So hey, I'm learning, I'm just starting out on YouTube, and I'm trying my best. I've also noticed that some people might think that my reviews are a little bit too long. I try my absolute best to cover every last detail of these soundbars in a time that's appropriate, but some of my videos... No, a lot of my videos go way into overtime. I'm working on getting better at that, but, for the present moment, it's really hard to, say, cover an entire soundbar in less than 15 minutes when you have to go over all of the ins and outs. At least that's how it is for me, because I don't want to miss anything. And yet still, despite that, I did miss that detail about movies, so thank you to the people in my comments section who pointed that out to me. I'm greatly appreciative. And I noticed that my Q90r review is not as liked as my Nakamichi review. And again, I think it's because people thought I was being biased. And I do have my preferences, admittedly. Obviously, the Nakamichi's still set up in my living room. But again, I'm not for one soundbar or the other. Really, they both have their strengths and weaknesses, and I thought I'd try to point them out. At least from what my ears can hear. And again, because I'm basing it on my personal experience and my setup and, my room, it could vary very well to your own experience. And so my advice is, and I'm going to start saying this at the end of my reviews from here on out, depending on what you want, depending on where you live, and depending on your room, your experience will vary greatly to mine. And so I hope that, my reviews can be taken both with a grain of salt, and hopefully they can help some of you make a purchase decision. And on that note, I am very appreciative to my 8 subscribers that I have so far. I'm hoping that I can get maybe, say, about 20 subscribers by the end of 2 months, but I'm a relatively small YouTuber, so I'm not going to expect that. But hey, if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd like my video, share it with your friends. If you didn't like this video, or you just don't like me talking for a long time, you can dislike, of course. I won't stop you. I would greatly appreciate it if you'd subscribe, if you haven't already. That's all for now, and stay healthy, stay safe, and bye for now, guys.